It's official. La Niña is back, making headlines across the globe as it re-emerges in the Pacific Ocean. And it's about to shake up our winter in ways both familiar and unexpected, bringing with it a wave of anticipation and uncertainty. As of October 9, 2025, the Climate Prediction Center has issued a La Niña advisory, officially marking the start of a new phase in global weather. This advisory isn't just a routine update, it's a signal that big changes are on the horizon. This isn't just a minor blip, it's a large-scale event that will shape our climate for months, influencing weather far beyond the Pacific. The trigger? Sea surface temperatures in the central Pacific have dropped just enough to set La Niña in motion, cooling the ocean and setting off a chain reaction in the atmosphere. That small dip in temperature is enough to send ripples through weather systems worldwide, affecting rainfall, drought, and even hurricane activity in distant regions. La Niña, the cool counterpart to El Niño, is now set to influence everything from winter temperatures to snow chances, and even the risk of severe storms in some areas. Forecasters expect this pattern to persist through winter, steering storm tracks in the jet stream across North America, which could mean wetter conditions in some regions and drier, colder weather in others. For many, this means a very different winter than last year. Areas that saw mild conditions could be in for a surprise, while others may brace for more intense cold and snow. Not all La Niña events are the same. This one is forecast to be weak, which adds a layer of uncertainty to the outlook. The impacts may be less predictable, with some regions experiencing only subtle changes while others see dramatic shifts. But the key takeaway is clear. La Niña is in the driver's seat, and its effects are already starting to show, from shifting storm patterns to early snowfall in some areas. So, what does all this mean for you and your community? Let's break down what this La Niña winter could bring, and how you can prepare for the months ahead. So, what is La Niña? It's a term you might hear in weather forecasts or news reports, but what does it really mean for our planet and our daily lives? La Niña is one half of the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO, a powerful climate cycle in the Pacific Ocean that has ripple effects across the globe. ENSO is like a giant switch that can flip between El Niño, La Niña, and neutral phases, each with its own unique impacts on weather patterns. In a typical, or neutral year, steady trade winds blow from east to west along the equator, pushing warm surface water toward Asia and Australia. This movement allows cooler, nutrient-rich water to rise up along the coast of South America, supporting marine life and fisheries. La Niña happens when those trade winds become even stronger than usual, intensifying the push of warm water westward. As a result, even more cool water wells up in the central and eastern Pacific, making those regions colder than average for months at a time. This process creates a vast area of cooler than average ocean temperatures stretching thousands of miles, which can last for several seasons. That ocean cooling triggers a chain reaction in the atmosphere, shifting air pressure and moisture patterns not just locally, but all around the world. The Pacific Ocean acts like a giant engine, and when it changes, the atmosphere responds. The result? Less rain falls over the central Pacific, while Indonesia and Australia see heavier downpours and increased risk of flooding. Meanwhile, drought can develop in other regions, and the jet stream, the high-altitude river of air, shifts its path. During La Niña, the jet stream bends northward over the Pacific and then dips south as it crosses North America. This shift changes the delivery of storms, cold snaps, and rainfall across the continent. This new path brings classic La Niña winter weather. Colder and snowier conditions in the northern US and Canada, wetter weather in the Pacific Northwest, and drier, warmer conditions in the southern states. It's important to remember that La Niña isn't a single storm or event. It's a background pattern, a kind of climate soundtrack that plays for months, setting the stage for the weather we experience. While La Niña shapes the overall mood of the season, daily weather can still surprise us with its own twists and turns. Local storms, heat waves, or cold snaps can still happen, even if the broader pattern is set. But when we look at the big picture over several months, La Niña's influence becomes clear in the trends. More snow here, more rain there, and shifting risks for drought or flood. That's why understanding La Niña is so important for meteorologists, farmers, and anyone who wants to prepare for what's ahead. It helps us anticipate changes and make better decisions. Next, let's see how La Niña splits North America into different climate zones, and what that means for the months ahead. La Niña draws a line across the U.S., giving the North and South two very different winters. The jet stream dips, sending cold Arctic air into the northern states, while the South stays warmer and drier. The North, think Pacific Northwest, Northern Plains, Upper Midwest, and Great Lakes, gets colder temps and more precipitation. That means more snow in the mountains, and frequent storms elsewhere. Meanwhile, the southern U.S. sees high pressure, sunshine, and mild dry conditions. This pattern stretches from the southwest through Texas and the Gulf Coast to the southeast. The result, a classic north-south winter split, with drought risks in the south and snow in the north. While there are always exceptions, this is the signature of a La Niña winter. It's a powerful example of how the Pacific shapes our weather. If you're in the northern U.S., it's time to brace yourself. La Niña winters are on the way, and that means colder temperatures and plenty of snow are in the forecast. For many, this signals the return of classic winter scenes: snowflakes drifting down, icy sidewalks, and the hum of snowblowers in the morning. The polar jet stream will dip farther south than usual, opening the door for frigid Arctic air to sweep across much of the region. This shift in the atmosphere is what sets the stage for those deep freezes and frequent snowfalls. States like Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin are especially in the crosshairs, with forecasts calling for below-average temperatures that could linger for weeks at a time. Residents here should expect more days where the thermometer barely climbs above freezing. The Pacific Northwest will see an active storm track, with frequent systems rolling in from the Pacific. This means rain will drench the coast, while the mountains will be buried under heavy, wet snow, perfect for building up a deep snowpack. That snowpack is vital, not just for winter recreation, but for water supplies that last into spring and summer. Ski resorts will celebrate the fresh powder, and reservoirs will benefit from the runoff when the thaw arrives. The upper Midwest and Great Lakes are also in for a wild ride, with more frequent snow events, including intense lake-effect snow that can pile up quickly and catch travelers off guard. In fact, over half of past La Niña winters brought above normal snowfall to places like the Quad Cities, meaning shovels and snowplows will be working overtime. Communities should be ready for the possibility of record-breaking snow totals. Alaska, too, is in for a colder and snowier season, with long nights and deep freezes making winter especially intense across the state. While there will be occasional breaks in the action, the overall trend points to a true winter, one that's cold, snowy, and demands preparation from everyone. Stocking up on supplies and winterizing your home will be more important than ever. Expect higher heating bills, tricky travel conditions, and the need to be ready for sudden storms that can disrupt daily life. Power outages and icy roads may become more common, so planning ahead is key. It's a powerful reminder of nature's force and the importance of being prepared, whether that means having an emergency kit, checking on neighbors, or simply staying informed as the season unfolds. Now, let's turn our attention to the southern half of the country and see what La Niña has in store there. In the southern U.S., La Niña means a warmer, drier winter. The jet stream stays north, letting high pressure bring sunshine and mild temps from California to the Carolinas. While mild weather sounds nice, the lack of rain is a big concern, especially for drought-prone areas like the Southwest and Texas. California relies on winter rain and snow for water. A dry La Niña year can worsen shortages and wildfire risk. The southeast will see fewer freezes, which helps agriculture, but dry spells can stress forests and farms. Florida faces increased brush fire risk with less rain. So, while you might save on heating, water conservation and fire safety are crucial. This pattern affects everything from crops to ski resorts. Good weather is relative. Mild days can signal bigger challenges ahead. As fall deepens, hurricane season isn't quite over, especially with La Niña in play. La Niña weakens wind shear over the Atlantic, making it easier for tropical storms and hurricanes to form and strengthen. Historically, La Niña years see more late-season storms, sometimes double the usual number in November. The 2025 hurricane season has already been active, and warm Atlantic waters remain. That means the risk for late-season storms is still real. If you live along the Atlantic or Gulf coasts, keep your emergency kit ready and stay alert. Forecasters are watching the tropics closely. It's a reminder that climate patterns can have immediate, real-world impacts. La Niña's reach is global, not just a North American story. In Australia and Southeast Asia, stronger trade winds push warm water west, fueling heavy rains and sometimes flooding. While this can end droughts and help agriculture, it also raises flood risks. In South America, cool waters off Peru and Ecuador disrupt fishing and can bring drought to southern Brazil and Argentina. Some regions benefit, like central Brazil's crops, while others face challenges. La Niña's global effects ripple through food supplies, economies, and daily life. A temperature shift in the Pacific can mean floods in Australia, drought in Argentina, and snow in the US. It's a powerful reminder of our interconnected climate. Here's the twist. This La Niña is forecast to be weak. That means the Pacific is only slightly cooler than average, so the atmospheric signal is faint. A weak La Niña is like background music. Other weather patterns can easily overpower it. The classic La Niña patterns are likely, but surprises are more probable. Other climate factors, like the Madden-Julian oscillation or sudden stratospheric warming, could disrupt the expected trends. There's a good chance this La Niña could fade by early spring, adding more uncertainty. So while we prepare for the usual, cold north, dry south, flexibility is key. Stay tuned for updates. This winter could be full of surprises. With La Niña here, preparation is everything. In the north, get your home and car ready for cold and snow. Check heating, insulate, and stock emergency kits. In the south, focus on water conservation and fire safety. Fix leaks, use mulch, and clear dry brush. La Niña winters can set up a volatile spring with sharp temperature contrasts fueling severe weather. The weak, possibly short-lived La Niña adds to the unpredictability. Stay informed with local forecasts and official outlooks. By preparing now, we can face whatever this winter brings with confidence.